Welcome back to BT. Romana's here from Money Sense. We're talking tax time. We're talking about tax tips for British Columbians. Welcome back to BT.
It's good to be here.
So let's start with a pretty basic one. File on time.
You have to file on time. And you hear this every year. Oh, you got to file on time. There's a big problem. Oh, we don't want to have the CRA have a red flag on us. But the CRA is really trying to incentivize people to file on time. And they're doing this by looking at the finances. They're saying, listen, if you file on time, we're not going to penalize you. We're not going to charge you interest. If you don't file on time, we're increasing the penalties. We're not going to charge you 5%. We're going to charge you 6%. And on the interest you pay, you're not just paying 1% now, you're paying 2%. It gets worse. If you file 2 years in a row late, so you filed your 2016 income tax late, then for whatever reason you're late this year for the 2017 taxes, those costs double. You're paying 12% and 4%. Exactly.
That's actually really big news.
It's huge news. And that's the biggest change in any income tax across Canada and BC. You really need to file on time. Even if you think you're going to make some changes, file on time and then go back and request an amendment. But file on time, particularly if you think you owe any tax to the government.
All right, let's talk about the credits that you can get if you're a parent.
Yes, it's not all bad news, right? Okay, if you're a parent, the federal government said, listen, all this money that you're getting for children, the rebates, the credits, it's just too complicated. We're going to just streamline it. So they got rid of the credits you could get for arts and sports, which sounds bad, but the BC government didn't. So anyone living in BC, if you still have those receipts for your painting class or your soccer class,
hey, I keep them all.
Keep them all, and then file them. And it's not a lot of money. You're going to get maybe $10 back, $15 back on every $500 you spend. There is a cap, but that's 2 specialty coffees in my hand. So I'm okay with that. So that's what I'm going to do.
You're the voice of the people.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2 Frappuccinos in my hand. I'm good with that. So.
All right. How about transit users?
So transit users had a big disappointment in last year's budget announcements. They realized that they were no longer going to get the credits back on their monthly passes. So you could buy a monthly pass, save up the cost of that at the end of the year, and file that in your income tax. The federal government got rid of it. However, if you're a regular transit user, don't throw those receipts out immediately this year. You want to keep at least the first 6 months and file them. And so if you're paying $100 for a monthly pass, that's $600 in the first 6 months of 2017 that you can claim as a deduction on your income tax. So it's only for the first 6 months of the 2017 year. Public transit users can claim that cost.
I can just imagine our BT viewers grabbing their pen and paper. Okay,
wait a minute.
Okay, got it. Some really great takeaways here. I know this is going to really crack it open, but what about medical expenses?
Yeah, there's some great things happening. If you actually claim or qualify for the disability tax credit, or you have a dependent that does, you can now take that credit and apply it to certified nurse practitioners, and that's a big thing. Those are medical professionals that know their business and are often quite a bit cheaper than medical doctors. And for the first time ever, you can take your medical costs and credits and actually apply them to those certified professionals. That's a great thing. The other great thing is, for the first time ever, parents or would-be parents that are trying to have children and need medical intervention, you can claim those costs on your T1 medical schedule.
Wow, haven't we come such a long way?
Yes. Well, I mean, that's a huge cost, and it used to be such a big burden just to try and have a family. And now they're actually recognizing, yes, that is a medical cost. You can claim that.
So something that a lot of people might be experiencing for the first time over the last few years is income from online businesses. How does that impact our tax filing this year?
Well, we've always been told you have to claim every penny you earn, but a lot of times when it's a side business, a side hustle, we don't think about it. Well, just like a couple of years ago, the CRA cracked down on real estate investors. Now they're turning their attention to online income. They're saying anyone who earns online or income online needs to claim every dollar that they earn. Okay, that's good to know. It gets a little bit more detailed than that. Not only are you filing that T2125, which is the schedule for business earnings.
There's that pen and paper.
There's that pen and paper. It's all on the CRA website if you need to know. But you also need to understand where you're getting your income from, and you need to tell the CRA. So if you've got a Craigslist, you regularly sell stuff on Craigslist, and you've got an eBay store, and you've got an Etsy store, take that information, put it on your tax income return. The CRA wants to know where you're earning your income, not just that you're earning income. And pay attention to your tax deductions. They are now getting far more savvy and intelligent about what deductions really are deductions for those online businesses. So you can't get too creative anymore. You can't take your whole Mac computer that you bought and say that's an entire deduction for this year. You have to actually take the deduction on an annual basis because it's a capital cost allowance.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, Romana from Money Sense. Stick around. Here's